Hello, hello, sisters. Hello, hello, everyone who's watching us. I'm Signe Inspiration, and today I'm talking with Jacqui, and she is from England originally, and she lives in Mexico. And today we will be talking about how it is when you relocate. Because I relocated 6 years ago, I moved from North Europe, which is where is my home country, Latvia. We moved with all my family to America. We live in California now. And so we are kind of very close with Jacqui. Now she's in Mexico. And I want to hear more about Jackie's experience and share my experience, specifically about topics and themes, how it is when you are so far from your home and you are looking to build your new community, right?
Yeah.
So, Jacqui, hello, hello, how are you?
Hello, really well, thank you. This is I'm quite excited for this conversation because it's so poignant, and for our week in Sistership Circle, it's we were drawn together to work on the topic of community, so it's very relevant right now.
Yes. For how long do you live in Mexico?
So I've been here about 8 months. I came out here with my partner in April. It was quite a spontaneous decision. We kind of made the decision within 3 weeks that we were going to move from the UK and taking the opportunity to travel while we could. Um, and we've been looking to move abroad for a while. So, but Mexico was never really on my radar, and just like the invitation, sort of the opportunity came to light that this could be somewhere where we could help ourselves with our health and things. So there was a couple of reasons behind it for both of us.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a massive leap of faith. So because I don't know the language, nor does he. And so it was a big leap of faith for us. But we're here now. And yeah, yeah,
So you
we're
are in a new country, new community, and you don't speak their language.
no.
Oh, tell more about it. How can you communicate with people around there?
Yeah, I mean, where we've travelled a little bit before we found a base. So the majority of those 8 months, we were actually travelling around, and what brought us to where we are now was actually a conference where we were actually drawn to a week event, and it was so we were connecting with like-minded people who could speak our language and coming together, and it's all about actually working together in community and problem solving community. It's called Freedom Cells, and there's multiple groups around the world, and so this is what drew us to where we are, and we're in our community right now in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
So from there, when we decided to head off a little bit more traveling, and then we had to find a base for multiple reasons. One was my dog was flying out to join us, so we had to find somewhere to be still because we haven't got our own transport. I used to drive in the UK, and so looking at all these different challenges that I face out here now is quite different from my life in the UK and how it was before. So I can talk to you a bit more about what I found to be challenging over here. Um,
Definitely.
so the first thing was that I had to then rely on public transport to travel around. So I'm not used to that, although I have used it in the UK. I've been used to using my own car and going at my own time. So working on a completely different timeline in Mexico is very much like Mexican timeline is very much their own timeline, and as and when they kind of want to rock up to things without being, judgmental about it at all. It's just how it seems to work. Like a bus journey could be 15 hours instead of the 10 hours that it was advertised as. So getting used to these very long journeys has been quite a challenge for me, traveling around sometimes overnight buses and things. But with regards to community, definitely the language has been the barrier. And so this is something that I'm working towards, is if I want to connect with the local people, it's for me to just try, even if I don't know what to say something in Spanish, it would be to just open the conversation in English. And I really get that sense of appreciation and that meeting together. And a lot of the Spanish people want to learn English as well, so they will try and practice their English while I'm trying to practice my Spanish, and we will try and learn a new word each time if I'm going to the market. And that's a really good way of connecting with the locals. The local food markets are abundant here, and there's an local organic Saturday market, which has been a game changer for me, because there's a mix of expats and locals on stalls, and they already know each other, and bilingual, quite a few of them. Some of them aren't, and so it's a really good way to make those connections initially. And just to be able to have a bit of a deeper conversation. So that has been a struggle. I've needed to have somebody who speaks my language in order to do that. So apart from doing that online or with my partner, how do I then develop that outside of Circle? So where we are, we're very fortunate to have a fairly big expat community. There's tourists coming in this time of year, particularly from America and Canada and all over. And so I'm now recognizing from doing this program is, what do I want to experience, particularly with women, and coming together in more intimacy and depth of conversation and just a deeper sharing. And so I'm recognizing, okay, there's no women's circles here. It's a perfect opportunity for me to make my contribution in a way that I need to get my needs met, that I feel that they need to be met. And then that allows other people and other women to come in into the space and feel a deeper connection also.
You know, when I'm listening to you now, it sounds like, yes, we both relocated, but we both had different challenges. Because your challenge was language. My challenge was I was coming with a family with 3 sons, and I was pregnant with my son number 4 at that point. And I discovered that I'm pregnant 5 days before coming to America. So, and you know, every time someone told me, every time when you change your place of living, at least for a while, you downgrade in your lifestyle. And I could not agree more, because for us, the biggest challenge was not language, because we were already talking English in Latvia since we come from business. And so, but my challenge was to really find out how the school system works for kids. Where to live, because you are not alone. If you are alone, you can live in a hostel, right? Even for a month or so at the very beginning, but you are with a family and you're pregnant, and there is a different like challenges at that point. But we solved everything, and we were lucky to find out our own way. But now, talking about the sistership program, I have a question to you. So you are in Mexico, you have some community, you mentioned you have some expat community which speaks English, right?
Yes, yeah.
And but what about community which speaks around you Spanish? And how do you feel now when you have to organize your first sister circle? And as much as I know, you are the same like me. You want to organize your first circle not online but in person. And how does it feels for you? How you organize this? How everything is going for you?
Interesting. That is a pivotal question, because I don't want to just be catering for the expat community. I want everybody to feel welcome. It's definitely a barrier whilst I'm learning the language. However, a thought came to me, because if I do an organised group and a write-up, then what I would like to propose that I can do is to do a translation handout sheet, and then I can hand it out to follow along, and maybe I can number the points of where we're at, and then at least say in Spanish, we're at this number. You can read what I'm saying basically, and they can sort of stay with the process of the actual group until I can maybe I can just learn questions as I go, and as I develop more circles, I can then learn a bit more of the language. And it's a matter of just making it available, I think, is the most important thing to everybody. And also, I'm actually working with a lady who's bilingual. She's Spanish or Mexican, and I'm actually using her space and renting her space. So I've already had those conversations with her where she's bringing in locals, and I'm also wanting to put my flyers that I'm going to be presenting at the markets, but also in places where there's a lot of Spanish people already, Mexican people already. So for me, as I go forwards, I would like to develop more of, obviously, my ease of speaking and understanding the language, because I'd like to hear and what the women actually have to say. That's half of it. It's the holding space, but actually understanding and listening and hearing what they need to say, so that they feel valued and feel heard. And that might take some time for me to understand that. And maybe that's something that's going to provoke another question in me, like how can I make that process more efficient, so that I can understand what they're saying. Google's Translate isn't particularly the best thing to bring out in a sistership circle, or also actually collaborating with local Mexican people who also want to join the circle, and that they speak the language themselves, so they can do the translation in between. So the circle might actually be a bit longer because if you're sharing it in two languages, but that would be an amazing way to collaborate with the local community as well. That just comes through literally out of the top of my head right now.
Wow, that's an amazing idea, because so many events are accommodated by interpreters, right? Because when you go to conference, then this is kind of normal part of it. If you go to foreign country, which language you don't understand, right? So
Yeah.
yes, maybe on one hand, someone can say, "Oh, this will interrupt the connection, how you are interacting with each other in the circle." But now, when you explained it, and if there is some nice person who is doing this translating work, it can also be an amazing experience for all of you, right?
Yes. It feels
Very
like that would be the way to work, because it feels very inclusive. It doesn't feel like it's just a few against more, like with the misunderstanding of the language. It's actually more of a balance then, and it is very inclusive of the local community and the expat community. And going forwards with different projects, actually this week has been very pivotal for me in recognizing and answering the questions that we put up on the Facebook group about belonging in community, and where I see that I want to belong myself. And it's very much this topic of working together in community and getting everybody's needs met. And just yesterday, I was coming out with a process of already a 4-week process of how I want to do that. And that's been inspired by this week of us coming together and diving deep, and also today's call that's come from this as well. So it's amazing just when we kind of decide to show up, when we want to work with other people, how much you can bounce off each other and encourage each other and support each other. And I love that.
Absolutely. That's why we are in this world, and that's why we are in this program. And I strongly encourage all the sisters from the How to Lead Sistership Circle program. Um, don't think always that sharing with someone is you are just spending your time, you are just investing in someone. But actually, every time when you do it from your heart and you are investing, you will always sooner or later create this wave of energies. When you give and you receive, of course you never know what it will be. Will it be some inspiration, some ideas, some help for your projects, for your circles? You never know. But from my perspective, being 6 years so far from Europe, so far from my home, it shows that you need at first a little bit of courage. You need at first a little bit of self confidence, because being honest, of course, you always think, oh, I will share something, and what will that woman think of me? What those people would say about me later, when I will not hear what they are saying about me? Of course, all those fears are alive. I will not lie. Of course, you think about it. But as you move forward, as you keep going, you don't look back anymore. You don't look on the sides. Oh, what this person is whispering, what this person is saying. You just have your own way, which comes from here, and you just keep going, keep going. And as more you keep going, as more you get nice people on your way, nice feedbacks, inspiration from around, you look at everything with eyes of children.
Mm,
When, because all children, when they are small, when they are just born, they have such an amazing self-confidence. They feel like they are center of the universe. They don't think like, oh, I should not crawl there because my mom will think of me this, or my friend will say this. No, they are so natural. They express their needs. They are who they are. And later on, life, people, situations, they hit us, they traumatize us. And then at one point we are um so shrinked, so small, so dependable on other people judgment,
mm,
other people way of seeing world. Because I always say to everyone, and I'm happy to share it with you, sisters, when someone says you this or that, it's not about you, it's
mm,
about that person. And when you remember this, anytime you receive any feedback, or you think you receive a feedback by body language or something, it's not about you. You are who you are. You are how you see yourself and how you express yourself. The rest are just reflections.
mm,
And now being so far away, and that's why we are here today with you, that we both have those challenges. Because of course, if we would be in our mother countries, in our home countries, then organizing a sistership circle would be easy, because we have so many friends, so many acquaintances, so many people who know us. And when we like give any invitation, and it can be birthday party or sistership circle, at least half of those people will arrive to our event.
yeah,
Now situation is very, very different, right?
definitely.
So
So yeah, I've got a way of kind of answering or helping to answer that barrier really. And for me, what I've looked into and what this week has helped me look into is, where do I feel most natural in the time and the energy I want to share with people. So, for example, for me, I had a dog. He came over here, and he's passed away since. So it's left a very big, gap in my being, and I'm taking some time to just be with myself, dealing with that. but I am also aware, and I knew before coming to this location, that there's an animal sanctuary, there's a dog and cattery sanctuary right in the small city here where we live. And I was always wanting to spend some time with many animals, and so this is a good way for me to also do what's connect in a way that I feel is very natural and what will give me some much needed nurturing, and also to meet other people through that way. And so what I would sort of ask our audience is to just think of any natural ways that you want to be able to get involved in your community, and just see what comes up for you. It might be walking. I love walking as well, so possibly if there's a walking group already that's already active, and if not, then could you start something like that? Just see what it is that you enjoy, what sparks your fire, and just if something's not already out there, that's a perfect opportunity for you to step forward and put the invitation out, and just put the feelers out there is what I would say. And asking the people who have been around your area the longest, like those market stall holders, for example, or shop owners, and just seeing what is already active in your area. There's also a gym here which has just opened up a holistic centre. I'm interested in alternative holistic therapies, so we went along to their opening. It was all in Spanish, Mexican Spanish, but both my partner and I ended up speaking and being able to understand to some of the therapists that we were interested in. And so now we've already made that connection in community. And also the space that they're offering is open for rent for other people to use. So that's another way to, be able to collaborate with local spaces as well, and to be able to put your flyers out and hold an event. So there's so many different ways that are coming through for me now. I wanted to go through a very isolated process after my dog had passed, and it took a while for me to step out again. And the people who I do know, I had to say, actually, I need some time just to be with myself, to recognize who I am in my own rhythm without my therapy animal who's been around for 16 years. It's a long time. So that's another thing that's been a massive change for me. It's like now I'm here and I feel more like, where's my role of caregiver gone? Where's my mum role kind of thing of this animal that's been there for 16 years. And so really I recognise that the gift of him passing was to give me more time for myself, to choose for me first and foremost. And that's been a massive challenge for me, to put myself first every day. And now it's recognising, because I was limited with his age, because I'd have to go out for so long and come back, and only walk so far with him because of his, his age and his legs and things. And so now it's like the sense of freedom has come to me as well. Even though it's a sad way that it's happened, it's also given me food for thought of how do I want to connect now, and what do I want to do with my time, because I'm freed up in this new country without these responsibilities right now. But it is very much like, I want to share these experiences and create experiences and share it with other people. I want to inspire myself and enjoy myself, and invite other people to these experiences. So it's when I sort of hold space for that, that's where just these ideas and the connections, they're literally stepping forward and coming into my space. So just really holding the intention about what you want to create is massive in this co-creation, and just recognizing, I'm drawing these women to me. Maybe they will be interested in circle, or being willing to just, even if you haven't created a flyer yet, which I'm in this in-between stage, just talking to people, saying, I'm going to hold this event on this date, would you be open to joining, and keeping that date free, and then putting the details out there when you're able to. But so I did that conversation. I didn't have the flyers ready for last week's market, but I made the connection with the lady at the market, said, can I can I put these flyers on your stall next week? They'll be ready. And she said, yes. And there's also a table over there. And you can also do an offering on the mic to say about it as well. So, because they have a bit of live music, amazing little markets in Zihuatanejo. So, anyway, yeah, that's kind of what I would say to people. See what feels natural for you and where you can feel like you can gain your confidence even if you feel a little bit unsure. Is what do you want to get involved in that will feel good for you, and just see who else turns up in that space, and invite other people to join you as well. Like, I'm going to the animal sanctuary, do you fancy joining me on Saturday to walk some dogs in the morning, you know? So you can create deeper bonds of affection through that way as well.
You know, Jacqui, I have this question to you. We are in this program 10 weeks already, and what this program already created for you? Is there any difference? Or if you look at your life and those 10 weeks, how would it be if you would be without this program, just on your own with your partner in Mexico?
That's a good question. I feel like I would feel more lost. I feel like a lot of the people that sign up to this program are going through quite big changes in their lives, and it's about self-discovery for me. And it's such a supportive way of being able to communicate anything that's come up for me that I've been triggered, especially with the buddy system. Connecting with somebody on a deeper level about what's going on through such a big experience, and especially at this time with so many changes going on in the world. I think it's like, if you haven't got a support group, try and get one, because we all really need it. And especially if we're kind of moving away and we're seeing opposition or differences that are coming up with friends who you thought might be on the same page as you with making choices right now, whether, you know, with everything with the vaccine and what people think. For me, I'm very unjudgmental and all accepting wherever people are at, they're at, and I accept you for who you are. Everyone's got their own decisions to make in life, and but it's also, how do we deal with recognizing, oh, I didn't realize that was coming up for that person, and or you're just not resonating with certain people in your community anymore. And this is for anybody in a community they've known for a long time, particularly, they might be seeing these differences. And so how can you create one coming from where you're at and what you need? And so yeah, and this program's also really helped be a massive mirror. I mean, all the women in our group, without naming anyone, I mean, everything that's come out from them I can really resonate with. And whether it's been wounds, triggers, wow, just whatever it has been coming up as a theme of the week has been very on point. And it's like I'm literally, we're collectively going through this process, and you don't feel alone. So the difference being that I would feel much more alone if I wasn't doing part of this program. And I'm so grateful that I went through the first two weeks of questioning whether it was right for me, knowing that my kind of back door was commitment. And so this was really a commitment to myself. And I've already done a lot of work on myself, but this helps you go there again, and go there within a group of people. Sometimes we do group, work on ourselves in isolation, which I've done a lot throughout the years, and some of it through my own friendships and interactions with people, and my family definitely, like everyone does. But to do it in a group and working through these things together, and opening up to the opportunity of how to become the better version of ourselves, and the potential in that, and then the collaboration and what comes from that, this is going to carry on and continue with real deep connections. And I know that you feel this too, and I resonate with so many women in our particular group that it's like, wow, I feel like I can connect with each one of us on, in different ways, and that it can just continue with ease, if we wanted it to.
Yes, absolutely. And I wanted to share a bit about belonging and collaboration.
Yeah.
Sometimes, uh, when you don't think consciously, or maybe you do, but we have this myth inside of us that someone from outside will create this belonging for us, this
Mm,
feeling of belonging. That, for example, we moved to different countries away from mother country, and now we are here, and that this belonging somehow will rise itself sooner or later, or other people will create this for me. Or
mm,
collaboration. Oh, someone will ask me, and if and when someone will ask me, of course, then I will respond that I'm ready. I'm coming to your, I don't know, event or gathering or project or something. And I would encourage you, if you would live in this body, in this lifetime for 1,000 years, then you can wait for this magical invitation, right? But since we live in this body, not 1,000 years, but a little bit shorter period of time, then create your events, create your gatherings, be an invitation for other people, and
mm,
create your own sense of belonging by doing activities, by going step by step toward this. And even if some of the people will not respond the way that you could feel, oh, this is my person, this is from my circle, this is person with whom I would really wish to be closer. Maybe you will, yes, maybe you will discover that you don't resonate with everyone, but feeling of belonging is sometimes even more than this. Because if there in this community are 100 people, you truly resonate maybe only with 5 or 10 of them, right? And
yeah.
even 5 or 10, that's a lot. That's
Yeah.
a lot. But so if you don't create your events or gatherings or anything, and then this magical moment will never come. So that's why I think this sistership circle event or events in the future is a magical help for all of us
Yeah.
to say, to give out this invitation, to tell
Mm,
to women, you are invited to be in my circle, you are invited to my community. I want to share with you what I have, and I will be happy to hear your message, your feelings, your thoughts. Let's try to connect.
mm.
Maybe
Yeah.
magic will happen.
Beautiful. Yes, I totally agree. Exactly that.
Yeah. And again, as I said, like 20 minutes ago, if I would be in my country, I would never think of this way,
Right.
because it's always easier to be in your comfort zone and
Mm,
to interact and collaborate only with those who you already know, right?
mm, yeah.
Uh, so maybe this video, when we are sharing this, will give you some more confidence if you move outside your country like we did, or you are still in your town or city or country where you always live. So this will tells you, oh my gosh, if those ladies could do it, I can do it too, right?
Yeah.
We want to help you, sister, because you are amazing, and you can do anything if you wish, and just create your invitation and step out of your comfort zone, invite people around you, share your love.
Definitely. And there was something that happened with me this week as well, where I've been wanting to create more fermentation foods and to learn a bit more about the process. And it just happens that a friend of mine said, "Oh, there's the lady at the market. I've heard that she wants some help with that." And I've been speaking with the lady at the market, but it didn't come up. But I knew that there was something going to be happening there. And so it's like just actually seeing what you want to learn, asking your question, what do I want to learn, and how can I offer an exchange there, whether it involves money or not. Like, is there a meeting of exchange that we can do? And this is actually a part of how I want to contribute myself in community going forwards, wherever that is, whether it's here or in another community, is to help create a space of where people can come together and offer their different skills. And so there's a go-to place where people can connect and not feel completely alone or like they have to know it all. And that in itself creates a bigger contribution of support, knowing that somebody can either share their skills with you or that they're happy to exchange their skills. And it's an open offering of the heart of where we're all coming from, but we've all got something to give. And yeah, just literally bringing more engagement with each other in community and recognizing what we've all got to offer. So that's what has come through for me to create that space. It's been on my kind of in the back of my intentions for a while now, for a number of years actually, that the initial idea came through, and now it's to actually create that platform and create a tangible experience on the ground for people. That's what people are really wanting now, real practical solutions to these things. And especially going forwards, again, at this time going forwards, I feel like we're really going to be looking to support each other in our local communities. So if there's a way that we can look at our sense of belonging in community and what we're here to offer as ourselves, and then we can open up the invitation for how other women can do this, and not just women, their families as well. For me, it's that side of the community goes beyond the sistership circle. It's actually anybody in community, male, female, children, older people. We've all got experiences and gifts to bring, and especially going forwards when times might be a lot tougher, then we can already be connected in a group of solidity, you know, of knowing who's a part of that group, who we can engage and exchange with. So yeah, that's all about collaboration for me as well, and what I'm intending to bring to my community. And that all came about, again, it's really earthing it this week, and I've been writing in my sketch pad and thinking, right, there's a 4-week process.
So thank you, dear Jacqui, for your experience. Thank you for sharing your story about belonging, community building. I think it's very, very important to give those examples to each other, because it helps to step outside your comfort zone. And I encourage every one of us to step out of this comfort zone, to say to the universe, hi, I'm here. I'm ready to attract more people who resonate with me. And maybe your next soulmate is around the corner waiting for you.
Yes.
Right? So thank you everyone for watching. We love you. If you will have any questions, please post them under this video in a YouTube or on a Facebook chat. We will be happy to answer. You can also subscribe to my channel, because there will be more videos coming about those topics and other very interesting topics. So thank you so much, and see you soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.